Okay, guys, so the video that I'm making now, it's going to be slightly different from the other videos because most of the other videos that we have been doing are basically coding. We were coding the website, and this is where we left it. We left it where we have the hero image, and we have the text and the buttons. The final video that we did was we created the buttons, and what I wanted us to do was to change these H1s to links so that they can be links. Normally, because even the buttons, we can make them links, but we're not going to make them go anywhere. So I won't change the buttons because the buttons, they are already supposed to be links, but when you click on the button, it just goes to nothing. It just goes to hashtag, which is nowhere. It doesn't go anywhere. And so the buttons are working. The only thing that is not working, if we hover over the H1, you can see that it doesn't give you the pointer or anything to show that it's a link. But when you go to the button, you can see that it changes the cursor to a pointer, like a finger, to show that that is clickable. But these ones are not clickable, so you have to make them clickable. I don't know if we have to do that, but let's for the sake of this, let's just do that. We are going to add an A tag, simply an A tag around the H1. So because it's I don't know why I have a paragraph inside of an H1. So that is actually what's happening here, because I want to see where the H1 ends. Oh, actually it's not. So the H1 is here, so we have to wrap it inside the anchor, the A tag, which is let's just create an A tag here, A tag, and then the H1 will be inside of that. So we're going to do A. Normally you'll do that if you're creating an A anchor. So I would say that, and then we do an A tag, and then immediately when you do that, it gives you a call to action button, and that's not what we want. But we just need an A tag. So I'm just gonna create an A tag without anything in it. We won't give it a class. Should we give it a class? We will give it a class. Let's give it a class. But we'll give it a different class. So we have to cut the H1. Where's the H1? We have to cut the H1 and put it inside of the A tag. Where's our H1? I don't know why it created the block. Let me just Command Z. Yeah, I just want that. I just want this, and then we're gonna cut the H1. Command X and paste it inside of the tag. Command V, and I would make it longer to go that way so it doesn't wrap to the next line, so that we can see what we are doing, what we are dealing with here, because it's a bit confusing when it starts to take more lines. Normally I prefer it to be like that, but this time I see it's just becoming too busy for me. That's why I couldn't even see it's an H1 only. So let's give this a class. So we're gonna give it a class, and should we give it a class? I don't think it's necessary, but let's give it a class and call it link. Let's just call it a link and save it. So when we do that on the H1, let's see if it's the second one. It's this one. Which one is that? Oh, let me run npm run compile SASS. Compile SASS like so, and yeah, let's see. And then we come back to the H1. Where's the H1? I think I put it on the second. Yeah, I put it here. Oh, it just wraps itself into that. I just want to see which one is a link. I don't see the link here. but I have an anchor which is supposed to be a link. I don't know if I had it and then I already styled it, but I don't think so. So okay, and this one is here. But once we have an anchor, it's supposed to give us an effect. So when we, let's see, have a design portfolio, it's supposed to be this one here. Let me just actually, just to see. And it's not, so I just want to inspect this element and check what's the problem here. It is a link, but I think I might have styled it. Let's go back to the CSS and see if we have any styling for the link. I just want to see, not this, not that. I think we do not have it. We don't have the styling for that on our code. So why is it not? But it's behaving as if we have already our block test secondary link. And here we go. So let's just remove this. Let's remove this because we don't even have this element. So I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay. So let me inspect that element. It's a link. It shows that it's a link. You can see when I hover over it, and I just want to see, but it's not doing anything. Okay, let me just remove everything and restyle it from scratch. Unless I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, I'm looking at the right one here. This is link. So unless something is wrong here, let me just remove this link and create another element here. Let me just create another element and check if okay. So we're supposed to make this a link. So let's start with the top one, the very top one, which is this one here, the H1, because I'm just gonna check. So if we wrap it in a tag, within an a tag, and take this and put it here and save it. It doesn't work. But if we, so let's not, I just want to check why is it not working. I want to put it inside of the a tag here. Let's say inside here we say an a. Oh snap, yeah. It could be because of I'm not putting the link to it. Sorry guys, I just noticed the mistake I was making. I'm supposed to put we're gonna do this and put an a tag and href and put an href. So let's save it. It doesn't have a class, but it's definitely a link now. And let's have a look. Is this one here? Okay, now it's working. Sorry guys, so the purpose for this video was to make this a clickable link. Of course, right now if we click, the underline shows that it's now a link, and we're just gonna style it and remove this. Actually, the way it is, it's just perfect the way it is. The only thing you have to do on that is just to remove the underline, the text decoration to none. You just, yeah, that's what we just have to do. So we just have to go back to our CSS and go to the we didn't give it a class. So let's have a look. Yeah, we didn't give it a class. So we can just say, let's just style it on its own. Where do we put that? let's put it above the buttons here, and we say that link, yeah, let's say a link and visited. We're just gonna, yeah, so what just happened to, oh, I just want to remove that. Yeah, so we just removed, we just set all the links and all the visited links, text decoration none. It's still a link, it's still clickable, but it doesn't have a text decoration. This is all we did. We just say the link. This is how we style the link. We just say the link, text decoration none. Text decoration was the underline that was there. So usually when you create a link, automatically it gets that. So the only thing that we have to do now is to make all of them become links. Let's go to the next one. These are links as well. So because we've styled this, we can actually remove it on the other codes. And that is going to be what might make this video a little bit longer, because there are other stuff that I wanted to talk about. So over here, we're just going to add another, let's go back and add another, yeah, another link, something like so, and save it. And we go to the, that was the last one, so we need another one here. We're just gonna add another one here. Okay, we're just gonna say a, and then href. Let's see if it's doing, yeah, it's just doing the right thing. So we save it. So all of them now, they are links. You see now it's a link, because you can, when you hover over it, it just gives you that clickable thing. So you can click on this and then it will still take you to another page, and it's now behaving like these buttons. That's all for this video, guys. Cheers, see you on the next video. I'm kidding. One more thing that I wanted to talk about is explain a little bit of what actually is happening here. So remember that we have we are using a CSS preprocessor, which is SaaS. So why are we using SaaS? SaaS, usually, I don't know if you have realized, you remember that we created the variables. So this is how you create a variable in SaaS. So that means if you are reusing anything, variables, you know that in programming it's just a shortcut, a short way of you are avoiding to recreate something over and over that you are using. Instead of doing that, you can just create one item and reuse it over and over. So that's what we use variables for. So we know that in our app or website, we're going to use these colors a lot of time. And these are hexadecimal codes, and you don't want to memorize these things. Instead, you know, if you just call it color primary, you know that you just you create a variable called color primary. Let's make yellow. So let's say color yellow, and you know you're going to use yellow. So you just do a $sign. You start with a $sign and you say color dash. You can name it to whatever you want, right? Color yellow, and then so this is yellow. You can see it's yellow, and it already gives you the color. But let's say you have your own color, or pink. Let's just say color pink. I don't know why it's, yeah, pink, because that looks like the other color. So color pink, and I just want to go back and say color pink, and then let's see, there's color pink there, and you want to use this color somewhere few times, many times. All you have to do is just to mention to put a variable on that color. So let's say the font for the body of the website, this is normally the body. This is what we call the body. So the font for all this should be black, let's say. You're just gonna put color black. You use the variable instead of keep typing the hexadecimal. So to avoid that, you just use this color black variable to give it a color. That's one thing that I think I'm trying to explain, but it's a little bit harder than I thought to explain something so simple. So we use the variables for colors and other stuff. Now, another thing that I wanted us to talk about is, usually, again, I think you know that in programming, repeating yourself is not something. We say we have to keep your code dry. So we're using the dry principle. So don't repeat yourself. Dry is let's see, I'm going to type it here and see if I'm saying it right. DRY. So DRY acronym means, I'm just going to type it here. It means don't, and then the R is repeat, already give you, and then Y is for yourself. I don't know what's happening with AI. AI is making these things. I don't know if it's making them good or bad, but yeah, it's starting to be too much. So I'm just saying dry is don't repeat yourself. So, but if you look at these things here, the buttons, we have different buttons. So we have this button here, we have this button here, and we have this button here. The reason I made 3 different buttons, and they are all 3 different. So this button here, I think you can see it's not the same as that button because the styling is different. So it has a border radius on the right, the bottom right. This is where you have the border radius. And then on this button, you have it on the left bottom left, the border radius. The rest of them doesn't have border radius. So this button and that button are not the same, even though everything else inside of those buttons is the same. So the background color is the same, the text is the same, the styling of the text is the same. So we're using the same font weight, same font color, which is white, on all of them, on all the buttons. But this one also, you can see it's different from this one's, the way it's styled. But everything else is the same. So that is, if you have buttons like that and you keep repeating the same code over and over, and we nested it already, we did the nesting here, right? I don't know where is the left. Oh, the left one is this here, is this one here. Let me just remove this don't repeat yourself thing, and let's talk about the buttons now. So you have the left button, the right button, and you have the call to action button, which is this one here. I would name it not CTA. I would name it the something else, and then, but we will have certain things on all buttons the same. We just change few things. So that's why I chose to make these buttons all 3 different. So with that principle of don't repeat yourself, we see that the color is the same here. The color. Let's just mention everything that we think is the same. I'm just going to put this thing all the way down and bring the buttons up here. And I just want the space where I can write, where I can type something. Let me just get this thing here. And I'm just going to create some space here where we're going to work. So that we can see the buttons. So we're going to take everything that is the same on all these buttons and put it on the side. So this here, display block. So we have display block for all the buttons. So I'm just going to copy display block, and I think up to here so far, from here up to here, probably, and the fit content also. And the 20 pixels and 30 pixels is the same on all 3 buttons. Margin 0 auto. No, the other ones don't have the margin 0 auto. So let's copy this one for now. Copy that and let's paste it here. I just want to show you. So all these things we will compare. I'm just going to copy them for now, and then we're going to compare them. And another thing, the border radius is not the same. Text transform uppercase is the same, so we're going to take that as well, copy and paste it over here. We're going to paste it over here. Paste it over here. Is Command Z. Yeah, let's just go back and yeah, and then font weight bold on all of them. So the rest of the stuff is not the same, but these things are the same. Let's copy that and let's paste it over here and paste it. So all these buttons, we nested them, but what I want you to notice is that all the buttons are the same. So we cannot have that. So we have to find a way of not repeating the same code on all the buttons. So we will put the different things in each buttons, but what is the same, we put it separate. So that's where how powerful SaaS is. So let's do that. What we're going to do, we're going to create what we call a mixin. So what we do is we put add, and then we say mixin, and then we give it a name. So we say buttons. So let's just call it buttons, right? And then we're just gonna create that mixin. So inside of the mixin, we're gonna put everything that's the same on all of the buttons. So we're gonna take all these things, and that's the same, copy, and let's just paste it inside of here, right? So this is what is the same on all the buttons. And then we're gonna remove it from the buttons. Let me show you. We're gonna remove it from all the buttons, and I think first we set up to here. We're gonna remove the display block with the padding and the margins. Yes, they are the same size. We remove that, and I don't want and then we remove this too as well, which is text transform uppercase. We're gonna remove that, and then the call to action button has the border radius is different, and the margin 0 auto. And then on the other buttons, we're gonna remove this too as well. We're gonna remove that, and we're gonna remove everything from here up. I think we're gonna remove even this. So let's just go remove all this. Did it have margin top? Let's leave the margin top. I can't remember. Let's leave the margin top. Let me see. Margin top. We have 26 pixel margin top. So I don't think it's the same. This has, but the other button didn't have. So we will leave the margin top. So we're going to remove everything from here to here. So let's remove that. The padding, we said we're going to remove, right? Because it's the same. This border radius we won't remove. And then on this one as well, we're going to remove everything from here except for that. We're going to remove that, and we're going to come back, bold and uppercase here. We remove that. And then what we're going to do now, so these buttons, this is what is different on all the buttons, but everything else that we put inside of the mixin was repeating itself. So we're going to come back to the button and say add include buttons. So you see now, we're just going to put this code here. This code will represent all these things that are here. So let's go and add it over here as well. Go one up, tab, add include buttons, and then we're going to do that as well on this button here, add include buttons, and then we save it. When we save that, everything else is still working the same way. You can see that we have button here, we have a button here, they are still working. We have this button here, and nothing changed except that we didn't repeat this code on all the buttons. We just removed it actually, and we just put what's different on all these buttons. So everywhere you have a code that's repeating itself on this, everything that, for instance, here on the exempt, the font family repeats itself, all these things, and the colors, you're going to take them out, create a mixin for them. And actually I wanted you to do it yourself. You create a mixin for them, and then you only leave what's different in the rest of that. So and then you just put at include mixins. So that's what we do. So I'm just going to do that behind the scene, and then I'll show you what I did afterwards. So I hope this one helped, and this is what we're going to end again in terms of why use SaaS. But again, what I want to show you is that even though we are doing all this funny stuff on our code, CSS doesn't know this thing, and the browsers don't read this, because we have to do it in SaaS, and then it will automatically be written with that script will transfer it to our main CSS, and on the main CSS you will see all that mess that we got rid of. You see, everything is there, all these buttons are there, CTA right, CTA, and it's repeating all those things, even though in the main.css we just put it up here, and then the rest of them we just say at include. Cheers guys, see you on the next video.